Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the map Swampland City. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and players. Starting with Team 1 here up on the northern section of the map and ending with Team 2 down here on the southern portion of the map. Let's start with the northeast corner player of Team 1, which is IFRKRN going first, land as a Seraphim in light oak tan. Traveling southwesterly, we have the Imperial Gray player of a mountain robot going first land as an Aeon. And again, he is an Imperial Gray. To his west in Ruby Red, we have a Bourne. Very good series, the Jason Bourne series. The first three are, I think, my favorite. I think I don't know, the second one's really good. I don't know. I think the third one's also really good. But anyway, he's going first land as an Aeon. To his west in Amethyst Purple, we have Tolsti4OK. I think that's how you say his name, going first. Like, it looks like Tootsie Roll Pop, but kind of similar. Going first land as a UEF. To his southwest, another Aeon here on Team 1. It is Chef Eat with 2 A's. Going first land in orange, the color orange, as an Aeon. Last but not least, here for Team 1 in the northwest corner in the tropical ocean blue color. It is Rye Guys going first land, second air as a UEF. Most likely will be one of the 2 air players. I wouldn't be surprised to see the other corner player here on Team 1 be an air player. Down here in the southwest, starting off for Team 2 in Barbie Pink, we have TRU Putin going first land as an Aeon. And again, most likely the air slots will be these 2 corner players here for Team 2. To his northeast in Stitch Blue, we have a Cybern player of NM1505 going first land and land all day here in Stitch Blue. To his southeast in Pac-Man Yellow, it is Once Handsome making another appearance on the channel, going first land, second air as a UEF. To his northeast, we have Squidward already on the move for this reclaim here in the middle, going first land, probably second land, and probably land all day here in the middle. To the east with the Royal Purple player of Yayu971 going first land and probably second land at some point. Maybe will be making his way with Squidward in the middle, and he is a Seraphim. Last but not least, there for Team 2 in the southeast corner, it is Lightish Red Pink going first land, second air as a Cybern. It is Hot and Submissive. Very interesting name here for this team, or this player specifically. And we have on Team 1 3 Aeons, 2 UEF, and 1 Seraphim. No Cyberns for the northern team. And for Team 2, for their racial makeup, we have 1 UEF, 2 Seraphim, 1 Aeon, and 2 Cyberns. I think I got everybody. So all of the races are represented here for Team 2. And surprisingly, we have, I think that this is, let's say, a Cybern on the middle and a Cybern in the corner. So most likely neither of the players will go Navy, which means there will be no the Salems that walk onto land. And in terms of mass, currently still on the map in terms of reclaim, we have a huge chunk, 88,000 reclaim. Probably is in the 90,000 range probably in the beginning. That's a lot of mass for everybody to scoop up. In a 12-player game, 6v6, that's a decent chunk for everybody to scoop up if they do get their hands on that mass. It does look like the corner players do suffer a little bit because there's not a whole lot of mass for them, but there are chunks of, 4,000, 3,000 for them to scoop up, so they're not completely out of it. We are having some aggressive plays here from the Lightish Red player, or the light pink player of Hot and Submissive, having a bomber here just to try to lock off any engineers that are going to traverse the water and try to set up a temporary base on that eastern side. It's very similar. Both air players having the same idea. They're dropping their chariots full of engineers and what are these? Skyhooks. Their transports onto that island for engineers. I wonder if we're going to see any other units other than engineers. I think those are all engineers. I can't tell. Yeah, those are all engineers for DR Putin, and these are all engineers, I think, for Hot and Submissive. T2's already going down here for Team 2, both for Squidward and for NM. Want to try to lock down these western and central sections of the map. It's kind of weird because it looks like there's 3 lanes, and there kind of is. It's really hard because there is a decent amount of water in between these eastern side players. It's very hard to traverse through your units. So essentially, you're pretty much locked to either go all the way around like this, or just join up with the player in the middle and just go right. Or go into the Navy, either or. But we might see a Navy play here. There's enough room for a couple of frigates and some cruisers. But we'll have to see how that play goes on to the east. We have a transport here from Team 1 player of Right Guys, but he is outnumbered. There's a 1-to-1 ratio for these land facilities, but we are having bombers being produced for both teams, actually, trying to reduce those forces on the ground. We have an AA gun built here for Team 2, that Thistle, trying to take out those aircraft just buzzing around the western side of the map. Eastern side, very calm. The player of I not really going for that eastern island like you kind of assume he would. So Team 2's player, Hot and Submissive, will have that all to himself with no issue. We are seeing forces being built up here in the middle for both teams. It does look like, however, Scoreboard being a little bit lax with his Team 1 units. Has a couple of these hunters, but really about it. Has some like early warning systems with these Mantis. But he's not building up a large force. In the western side, very different. We have two armies being built up quite heavily with both the comps in front. We are seeing some PD creep here from NM trying to secure some reclaim as well as push on these units. And we even have the player of Once Handsome getting a nice little fire base up here. Some forward line land factories to help produce some units on this really like interesting, I don't even know what to call it. This is like a plateau, but it's kind of weirdly shapen. Definitely interesting map. It's not one of those, I mean, the Necroxus map generator probably could generate something like this. I wouldn't be surprised if it could not. But it looks like something that was definitely purposely made. Obviously, it has a name, so it is purposely made. But it's just such a different map. It's not an island map like we've seen in other games. It's not just a land map, because there is a decent amount of Navy that can't go all the way around either. There's this section on the eastern side that is completely locked off. So maybe Navy will play a role in this eastern side. We are starting to see one of them be produced. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some. But essentially, if you build any Navy here, it's stuck. At least with Navy maybe built here by these northeastern and southeastern players that can go all the way around. But it's kind of tight. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room here. We'll have to check up on that as time goes on. T2 is going on for Bourne as well as for Tolsti, so we'll have to see if they're going to start pushing their comms. They are pushing their units in. There's still a lot of rocks for our players to scoop up. What's the reclaim like? We were at 80,000. Now we're at 30, so over half of it is already gone. We're at 8 minutes. No one has died. It's not really super aggressive. You'll notice the rankings here. The highest rated player is 1,800. The lowest rated player is 700. Again, it's the law of the averages for one team and the outliers here for the other teams. So we'll have to see what set of matchmaking works here for these players. It is a custom, and it's 92%, so it's not completely unbalanced one way or the other. It's relatively balanced. We are seeing units break the front lines here for Squidward. He is a 900 facing off against a 1400, so the advantage with rating does reside with Team 1. And he's holding off pretty well. He has these servers he's building and T1 guns as well. These Aurora are pretty weak, and so they're not going to last super long against that PD. That PD does not finish, however. Squidward is kind of fearing for his life. Units are streaming in all the time. He does have these frontline land factories to produce all these Mantis as quickly as he can, and he is going to stave off a lot of this threat. These units are still going to be pouring in, but he will stay alive. If he holds his ground here, he will do pretty well. He's lost his T2P gen, but that can easily be recovered. Not a huge issue there. We also have units being built up here on the northern side of Team 2's base of Yayu. We are seeing a little bit more aggressive here from Mountain Robot. His frigates are starting to impact the units here on this little island here for Hot and Submissive. We haven't really seen a lot of air forces for either teams. D3 has been achieved by Right. Wow, that was really quick by I at essentially like 9 minutes or so. That's a very quick T3 air headquarters. Do we have one? We almost have one here for Team 1 for Right Guys. So 2 T3 air facilities probably finished by 11 minutes. One of them finished before, I'd say, around the 9 minute mark. T2 has been finished, and it's on the way. It's close to being on the way, I would assume. And for Hot and Submissive, the T3 has been completed. So it does look like Team 1 not out of the air game just yet, but neither team really focusing on the that early air stage. Maybe that was just a collective decision. I don't really know what that was about, but we'll have to see. That air is going to kick off really quick, though, once those ASFs and bombers start being produced. But Squidward building a bunch of some Cerberus turrets just to hold off the enemy here. And because these are World War, they are pretty weak, only 150 hit points per tank. These Cerberus are designed to take out, targets that don't have a lot of health. They fire very quickly. He's trying to get his T2 power generator back online, but he's building it on the front line with a lot of incoming threats here. We even have a T2 artillery installation built here for Bourne. He wants to knock Squidward out of the central position here. We even have forces here from the east from Mountain Robot. These forces here from Yayu have to get in to start fighting this. If he lets Mountain Robot walk all over the middle, it's not really going to feel good. Those units are going to be given the order, and a lot of them can traverse these like mountains. They're not completely, Skyrim 70% mountains. They're more like 30-40% inclination. So they can traverse those mountains here. Not all of them, but most of them. But we are seeing, it looks like Once Handsome trying to collecting all the little like really weird sections of the map. Like there's a couple mexes here. There's actually nothing here. It's just a position here. We have some Janus here from Tolsty as well. So he's getting to the air game as well. That would be very interesting. Team 1 having another air player, or at least T2, having gunships, having Janus or Nothas. Like, it is very useful for a land player to have. So land players, if you don't really build those air facilities, you don't necessarily you have to build it to win kind of thing, but it's another tool in the box that you can have to use if need be. We're having very similar things to the east there by Mountain Robot. He has a tactical defense and a couple of artillery to try to pummel the base here for Team 2's player of Yayu. Squidward has eventually been kicked off. Units from his teammate are coming in to assist, but his P-Gen has gone down. How does his power situation work? Well, he is still positive, but just barely. He needs to get his mass game going. And in terms of mass generated per second, Team 1 is in the lead by over 100 mass a second. They've accrued about as much as a monkey loader is worth at about 23,000. So it's again, we're at 13 minutes. No one has really died yet. Well, 12 and a half. I always round up. 13 minutes. No one has died yet. Squidward is, the most under threat here. He does have reinforcements coming into his system, but it's still looking like Bourne is very strong here. He has a nice fire base, a couple of artillery he's building, and he has some defenses in the back as well to ward off any missiles. We have this is interesting. We have a naval facility in the middle of the map here, 14 twos of Once Handsome. Kind of interesting because if he goes for cruisers, that'd be a very great play. But he's trying to get onto land. Bourne notices that and will take that out immediately. We're having more and more Cerberus try to be, built up very quickly to hold off these forces. And a T3 bomber goes off. At least that's what I heard. I thought I heard a strap bomber in my right ear. Where is it? We have some of these monsters. Oh, here it is right here. It gets taken out. There it goes. It was going after this position, it looks like. It doesn't look like it went after anything else vital. So both teams will know that each team has T3 if they haven't already. We also have a T2 facility here for Rye Guys getting into that naval game. Wants to help solidify this western side for his team and himself, of course. We're having a kind of a divorce situation going on here where two people have taken half of this, really almost disconnected islands. The eastern side went to Team 2 and the western side went to Team 1. I feel like Team 1 got the better end of the deal in terms of positioning, because the Navy, if they can get it up and running, they can secure it and take this out a lot easier than Team 2 can. But the risky thing is if Team 2 has the western side, this position's easily taken out. So it is definitely a risk and reward situation here, but it looks like it's fairly split. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mexes. So, very even. They're just kind of minding each other's business, minding their own business. But we are seeing some beacons come after some units and some of these mass extractors here for Team 1's player of Rag Eyes. It does look like there is starting to be a slowdown of momentum here in the middle for Team 1. Bourne has made it past the 50% mark, or at least the invisible dotted line that cuts the map in half. Well, at least horizontally. Does it cut the map? It's weird because it's not entirely even on this side. The island's shape is different than this side. It's not cut down the middle this way. I wonder how this map is cut. Is it? No. Wait, it's not. I don't think it's I think it's asymmetrical. I don't think it's exactly the same on both sides, just because of these islands in the middle. But I don't know. You'll have to let me know down in the comments. It looks like it is asymmetrical, but it might not be. That it could just be my eyes playing tricks on me. That army here from Team 2 coming in clutch for them, holding off this Aurora push from Team 1. It is Zooey and Thams versus Aurora. We have more and more PD being built up all the time. Team 1's player Bourne really wants to hold this position. Once Handsom's little expansionary forces and structures have been taken out, this Team 1 facility is still online. It has halfway to go to build its T2 upgrade. There's no assistance on it, so we'll have to see if this really amounts to anything. A push to the west finally occurs, but there's a lot of PD, and it's layered. This front line has a lot of shielding. There's even a couple of Utashalas back here. There's a lot of Obsidians taking a lot of the shots, but those Thams and those Zooey are pushing forward, trying to delay the incoming Aurora and Obsidian spam. But it's not going to go well here. There's even some Ilshis in the mix here as well for Team 2's player of NM. And he's going to hold this position. He is turtled up quite nicely. Team 1's player of Chef Eat is going to build a miasma to try to thwart that base. But it's going to be kind of hard to chew through, was it 2 shields? Would like to see probably a third at least. Maybe a T3 once this is built. But this position is going to be very, very annoying for Team 1 to deal with. In terms of air, it does look like Team 2 is starting to be in the favorite for the air game. You see a lot of ASFs built here for hot and submissive. We have some over this corner here for Team 1, but there's hardly any here for Team 1's Eastern player of I. So it might be there must have been an air fight at some point and they lost, possibly, but there is a cruiser built here for him as well. He's gotten into the Navy. They have decided that this little island and this section of the map is fighting over with Navy. T3 has been completed here for Mountain Robot, excuse me. And so if he builds an Otham, not an Otham, an Omen, that's going to change the game here on this eastern side. Team 2 does not have anything to fight it with. They have some Salems they're building, but I don't know about that. We'll have to see how time goes on with that. A couple of Janus still flying around the map being annoying here for Team 2. Team 2 needs a little bit more anti-air presence here. Yeah, the Team 1 guns can kind of work on those Janus, but they're not as powerful as maybe they want them to be. D3 on the way here for Squidward, trying to rip up his hit points, getting some nice protection. We have some Stinger gunships being built here by Once Handsome. He might go T3 at some point, and he is going to go T3. I can see it queued up. Wants some more Stingers and Janus before he does so. T3 Assault Bot, the Harbinger for Team 1's player of a Mountain Robot. He's going heavily into that tech at 18 minutes. No one has died yet. A lot of action has occurred thus far. We have T3 upgrades for every facet of the game so far. Still no one has died. I think it just goes down to the shape of the map. Like, it's very hard to traverse. It's very hard to hold. Very hard to push. Well, it's not very hard to hold. It's hard to push, and it's easy to hold because you just have this western position. It's completely dominating Team 1. We have counter artillery here being built up to take out these miasmas that I guess were started and then stopped, I guess. So maybe not, but we'll have to see how that goes on. This just forces back Team 1's player of Chef Eat to the north. It does look like Bourne has finally broken through, but now he's in a little kill box area. He needs to be very aware of that. These units have a tight environment to fit in versus the wide environment that Team 2 has access to. If they go around this eastern side, they're going to run into some PD. If they go around this western side, they might be able to catch Team 2's player of NM off guard, but he'll know they're coming before they get there. It did look like it finished and then was either control K'd or destroyed. don't think it'd be control cat. I think it'd be destroyed. But again, T2 units starting to, sprinkle around the map. We have forces here from the player of NM actually coming and assist the middle. And we're having some units here from Team 2's player of Once Handsome traversing this upper plateau mountain area and starting to just walk around the map, trying to cut in from behind. But there's a lot of PD built up, a lot of artillery back here as well. So it's not going to be an easy job for those Titans to push through. But the Aurora are pushing into the main base here for Yayu. It's hard to say his name sometimes. And he is continually going eastward, wanting to take something out. But there's a lot of facilities online, a lot of adjacency bonuses for the reduction in cost. We have a couple of Harbingers appearing here. That's going to really thwart a lot of these units. But again, a lot of Ilshis can take them out. And once their shields are down, you can see how fast they take out those Harbingers. And they're being focus fired. Very good move, not letting their units just aimlessly shoot. And these Harbingers, very effective in large numbers. A couple of them not going to do the job, though. It's me a nice little reclaim pocket here for Team 2 to scoop up. How much reclaim do we got? 12,000 on screen, 10,000 on screen. So not a whole lot, but a decent amount. It's about, is it a third? Is it a half? Or is it less than? I think it's less than a half of a monkey, but Team 2 is the only one that has access to a monkey. So we'll have to see if they build one or not. I mean, maybe, considering one of the players is kind of on the front line. That kind of is on the front line. And we'll have to see. But he's struggling with his power. He needs to get that sorted. Figure out what is going on with that. He does have T3, so he has access to bricks and the loyalists. We're having groups of Harbingers constantly just sprinkle in. But it's not going to be enough. He needs a large force, these mountains does. And it just goes to show you that he needs to group them up a lot more. We have some whalers here down the middle. No AA here. Very missed opportunity here for Team 1's player Born. We even have some Percys on the front line for Team 1 as well. And this base is going to just be kind of reduced to tatters. We do have ASF coming in from Team 1 from multiple players. One from I and a couple from Tolsti. It does look like we have 3 air players now for Team 1. Ras going on the way for Tolsti as well. That T1, T2 Navy for both teams is starting to collide. Unfortunately, all of these units are going to go into a very thin environment. It's going to be very hard to maneuver around those shots. The bulwarks are the one. Are those bulwarks or were those the other? I think those are bulwarks. Not the Cougars. What are they called? The torpedo boats that that UEF have access to. What are they? Coopers? Maybe they're Coopers. I don't think those were Cooper. I think that was a bulwark. We have, just frigates fighting frigates. We have some destroyers here for both teams. Cruisers in the mix as well. There's actually a destroyer back here, just long-ranging it back here. Should be on the front line, but does look like Team 2 will get the better end of the deal for that. They've actually taken out the naval facility here against I, so Team 2 has the Navy on the eastern side. Team 2 looking very strong in that Navy. They've even taken out that T3 naval headquarters and killed the Omen. So that is huge for Team 2. That's a lot of resources that went into that really didn't get any value out of it. Still, more Harbingers grouping up right outside of Team 2's main base, right where some bricks are just hanging out, and bricks are just going to annihilate those Harbingers. They have the better range. Those gunships are still alive, and they've eradicated a lot of that front position. Look at the fact that since there was no AA, these whalers are just, wailing on their opponents. Definitely an oversight here for Team 1, especially because he doesn't have any T2 or even T3 AA units in the mix, just these thistles. Do see some dams being built up in the back line, but I mean, this front position was very solid, and it just crumbled very quickly. Good move by Hot and Submissive, annihilating that position. And now we see some counter pushing here against Team 1, going after this position here. 4 mountain robots. He's starting to, collapse in this little corner of the map. He does have T2. He has T3, of course. He has T2 radar. He knows what's going on this eastern side of the map. Just needs some assistance from his team. We're seeing another drop here from Team 1's player of I. I don't know where he's going with that, but we'll have to see. Do we have any spicy plays currently? It is 23 minutes. Still nobody has died. But they're building their air grid, the northwest. A little air grid forming, just assisting one facility. GG says, Rai, you have been pinged. I will ping no more. 1 versus 2 air. I mean, But you're both there, and they even have another air player. So it's like not a huge issue, but they do have a nuke. That is huge for Team 1. Born, maybe that's why he just gave up the middle, didn't want to fight over it. He was trying to rush for a nuke. But gunships go after the comm of Mountain Robot. We have some AA in the mix, but it's not enough. Mountain Robot will be the first casualty at 24 minutes, 17 seconds, and a kill here for Hot and Submissive. And that will be now a 6v5 in favor of Team 2. Let's see, is it a full... I think it's a full share game. I could be wrong. We'll have to wait a second to see if everything blows up or not. Everything does blow up, so it is a no-share game. This is going to be more about assassinations than taking out the whole bases. So everybody needs to be aware of their comms are at all times. There is no excuses. If it was a full, it's still no excuses in a full share game, but at least in a full share game, if you die, all your stuff goes to somebody else. It's not a huge loss, but losing an entire base worth, I mean, you had 8 mexes in the middle of that base. That's a lot of mass to start with. It's kind of like a dual gap, essentially. And again, a bunch of gunships for Team 2. Once again, some Volties, but they are taken out very quickly. Team 2 getting a lot more momentum down the middle. The first experimental of the game is built. Is it a monkey? I said chicken, but isn't a monkey? No. Where is it? It said he built it. Where did it? Where? I don't see it. Where is it? Is it in the middle? Oh. Am I just like blind? Is it on screen? I don't see it. Is it one of those things? I literally don't see any experimental. I swear it was him. Maybe. Oh no. Maybe it was Putin. I could be mistaken. Maybe it was Putin. And it was. He's built a Tempest. He must have got some Aeon tech at some point in time. He has kind of a mix of Cybern and Aeon. Didn't he start off as Aeon? He did start off as Aeon, so it does look like maybe Hot and Submissive gave him some Cybern tech. That's going to be huge for this western side. Pushing up with this Tempest. It is an experimental. It is very powerful, and it looks like he's keeping it under the surface here, so Team 1 will not know about it unless they have a sonar facility. They do not, so that is going to be huge when that thing opens up and targets something on Team 1 side of things. NM has built another experimental. It is probably a chicken, yep, and that's on the front lines. No travel time in getting to the front line there. Good move on his part. So Team 2 has 2 experimentals versus a nuke that's almost loaded. And he's going to get some shields online. He is struggling with some power. That is to be expected. Does look like he's trying to fix that issue. And what would be a nice, juicy target for Team 2? Well, taking out an air player would be great. Taking out a huge land threat would also be great. Those would be my 2 options. So probably, honestly, probably this base here for TRU Putin. He does have a SMD online. Doesn't have it loaded. Building more quantum gateways as we speak. Is now building a Seraphim one. So he's getting all of the technology. Going Hives, Aeon, Cybern, ASF. That's going to be a huge advantage. So that would be probably my target. If not, probably target this down here. If you couldn't hit these 2, target the probably the purple player here for Team 2, which would be Yayu, just because there's a lot of forces on that front line. It would just instantly blow up. But it does look like his western player is building a lot of some more of these air facilities. So going heavy oh, no, he's building ASF. Looks like he's building gunships for a second. But that nuke has been completed. Will it launch right now, or will he wait? Team 2 does know about it. They can see it. They don't know when it was started, but it is already completed. Will he launch it immediately? No. We'll have to check it out. We'll wait for that notification. But Team 1's starting to capitulate. They do have a T3 naval headquarters, but they're pumping out summits. Feel like, no, those are Neptunes. But that nuke does launch, of course, right when I look away from it. Where is it going? Either this base or this base would be my guess. The comms here are both in the water, so their bases will not go down. And he will go for the land player, who's going to take that approach. That's still a good approach, allowing his forces to move in. And he does start to push southward. The comm of Yayu is moving. Did he anticipate the move? No, he did not. He's going for the SMD as well. Kaboom. Almost clipped the comm. Just barely. Some hit points were lost. But core mass is down. Wanted to kill the comm. These units will stay online. And that push, I think, stops. Going, didn't get a calm kill. But the push from the west from Team 2's player of NM has done a huge amount of effort. And he almost goes after the comm of Chef E, but he retreats just in time, gets out of range. There were Ravagers being built. Probably that is a missed opportunity for Team 2's player here for NM. Could have probably got a comm kill, taken the rest of this out, and moved northeastwardly. But there's a lot of firepower coming off of these Ravagers. Would have been close. The chicken is still alive, being chased by some of these gunships, whether they be the broadsword or the stinger variety. Bourne has his own experimental, the Colossus. That will definitely take out this chicken. But now that Team 2 knows for sure that Nuke has been launched, they're going to have a lot more emphasis on building their SMDs. And that one does finish, so he'll be protected down there. And this air player will have his finished as well. So these two corner players are safe. The Arm of Once Handsome is on a transport and goes, nope, that's probably not a good idea. Where is he going to land? He's going to land in the water. Oh, he probably just wanted to hide in the water, but he could have just walked there. I wonder what his plan is. He's having... Oh, he has the... Do you have the Billy Nuke, or does he have the regular missile? Maybe he has the Billy Nuke. That'd be a great move here. Oh, he does have the Billy Nuke. Will it be able to traverse the mountains here? No, it does not. It impacts the mountain. Ooh, Team 1 knows about that now. Oh, that's got to hurt. And that's why he's continuing moving eastwardly. There are some units in the water sitting next to him. They don't have any torps, and they are just hovering, of course, so... You know, they can't launch torps if they're not touching the water. The gunships and Janus will take those out. But it does look like maybe there'll be more emphasis for some TMD here in the middle. TMD can take out those missiles, but we have ASF coming in to deal with those gunships. We have some strat bombers on the field as well, but Team 2 is still trucking up that western side northward. And these Tempests are... this Tempest being huge for Team 2. Taking out a destroyer in one shot. We have a Neptune. He probably needs like 4 more of these, but that will deal a huge amount of damage to all of these destroyers. There goes another shot. Hits it. Takes out another destroyer. This Neptune needs to get out of range of this Tempest, but that range is pretty far. That nuke does launch. You can see that's the range. It's barely not even in range. And for Team 2's Putin, that is going to be in range for a while, so they will have the advantage there for now. They need some tankier units. That nuke does launch. He's going to make it a second attempt. Maybe Yayu is thinking they won't go after him again, but we'll have to see. I mean, it looks like it's going straight for him. No, it doesn't stop. It's going for the air player, but that base will be defended. He had his time to go after them, and he didn't take it when he had the chance. That nuke moves right above him and is taken out. The player of Hot and Submissive goes, oh, good, he wasn't targeting me. Whew, that was close. This southwestern position here for Putin will hold very well. It's going to take a while for Team 1 to get to his base. Go through a lot of infrastructure and teammates to just get to him. Does Team 1 in the Northeast have a counter to any possible nukes or experimentals? Not really. They have their own SMDs that they're currently loading, but I don't want this to be just a nuke battle. I want it to be on the ground as well. But in the middle, that's what I'm getting. A huge line of Harbingers, PD, shields. The Billy Nuke is constantly landing on this base. We even have a Colossus coming into the mix. That'll take the rest of these forces out. It's a rock in a hard place. Well, it's actually not a rock in a hard place. It is a rock that Team 2 is dashing their hopes upon. This is not going to break anytime soon, and these shields are holding and saving a lot of the health and shields for those Harbingers and other units. Strat bombers are going after the comm of Yayo, and they get the kill. That is a kill here for Team 1, dropping this game back to a 5v5, and I is defeated at the same time. Assassinated by those gunships, so just as Team 1 gets a leg up, they lose their air player. All these ASF will die. There's still gunships here for Team 1. That whole base is gone. We know that. ASF coming in to take out those broadswords. They have some AA, but it's not that impressive. And the comm or player of Tolstein needs to pull these the gunships back. Now the northeast corner here for Team 1 is completely gone. Billy Nuke now being constructed here for Team 1's player of Tolstein. Wants to get on that action with that missile, but the comm was taken out by a grab from the Colossus, if you noticed, and that's why it's Control K and not a actual kill. It's because that unit was on the ground and was sucked up by that vacuum arm. That is a first here. I have seen him grab transports before, but not like that. Wow, that was... Wow, that's what I have to say to that. Oh, I didn't get a nice close-up shot, but we saw the last second of it just get sucked up into his arms and just crushed. And since the comm was attached to the transport, it counts as a kill on the comm as well. And now this game drops from being a 6v5 like a minute ago to a 4v4 for both teams. The air player for team one of them is taken out for Team 1. Team 2 is like central eco player, I guess you'd call it, is taken out. Another nuke is launched. It's going for Squidward's main base. He has an SMD. It is gonna load just barely. He is moving his comm just in case, but he is perfectly fine. Looks like it was going almost straight for him, or at least the center of his base. That nuke. Oh no, it might not load in time. Oh no. Oh no. It fired. It fired, but because the nuke was so close to the ground, oh, that's gotta suck. And Squidward was just out of range too. And that is another kill here for Team 1. It is now a 4v3 in favor of Team 1. The first time in the game. The Colossus in the water is being assaulted by a bunch of whalers here. Trying to hide under the water, but I don't think he can hide. The water is not deep enough. Apologies for that. I clicked off of screen. But that has got to suck. Oh, man. It's barely alive, though. Sub 15,000 hit points, but artillery's constantly hitting it. Oh, man. There's a lot of explosions in that water. Oh, man. That was like a rough couple of minutes for both teams. But we have to the west, we have two summits here for Team 1. They are still fighting that Tempest, though. It has the range, and I think it has the damage advantage, but we have destroyers helping out as well. The summits are way too close. You can see the range on those summits. You know, they're fully in range of that Tempest, but they can't even see it. They need vision on it. You need a T3 sonar facility. They just don't have it. We have some of these SAM sites being built, but we have a couple of these Sparkies that are floating dealing with those SAM sites here for Team 2. Very interesting play. The Sparkies are combat, so they can actually take out structures. Very weak, but they can still do something. A couple of Tort Bomber squadrons come in over the top, target the Tempest, but that thing is alive and well. You know, it's losing hit points, but it's going to take a while to chew through them. There was another Tempest that was taken out underneath the water. But still, Team 1 is still holding out. Riot Guys is still holding out on this northwest side. But it's still starting to favor Team 2. We even have the comm of NM getting into the naval game as well. Building some destroyers, I think. Those look like destroyers. Yep, they're... yeah, those aren't big enough to be Hathums, so... And it does look like there is a plan to build a All-Washer. So that experimental bomber and bringing in more RASCOMs or... Preset command. No, these aren't RASCOMs. These are RASCOMs. I don't know. Are those engineering ones? The like assistant building ones? I think that's what those ones are. But we have one chicken pushing that northwestern side once again for this land. There's nothing really to defend against a line and just a line of Ravagers and another one being built by RASCOMs. This game, man, it would take a little bit to kick off, but it kicked off real quick in that like 30-ish minute mark. 3 players dying, one of them being grabbed by a Colossus. That was nuts. That was crazy, but we will have to see what other crazy things happen.
Strategic launch detected.
That Billy Nuke going against these units here will take out a couple of Authams. It will divert the focus of that chicken. It will take a little bit longer to get back to that main base. We have some lightning tanks trying to take out the gunships. If they're smart enough, they'll target the AA first. But then we have some ASS from Team 2 come and collide. There are SAM sites littering the map on the northern side for Team 1. Trying to nullify Team 2's advantage. And that last Neptune is trying to get out of range, but going to suffer a lot. Stops moving, does take some AoE damage, but that was a good move, stopping it just briefly. The torps for that Tempest are in range, though, so it doesn't have any torp defense on it. So, a couple more, and that thing is gone. Team 1 has really nothing to defend itself, just some torpedo bombers. Team 2 needs some more AA in the mix, but they are building some SAM sites, so that helps. We also have a Galaxy in the back. Looks like we have some... Actually, that was a Hathum. That was not a destroyer. My apologies. It just looked like one. They look very similar, though. I do like the design. Look at all those gun batteries on that thing. That thing is nuts. And I think the nuke launches from from like the... Kind of hard to look at it from this angle, but if you can see my mouse, there's like a little slot right here. I think that's where the nuke launches from. I don't know. I have to watch it firing a nuke, but I think that's what he's building them for, honestly. You can see the little bar on the bottom progressing, but a large force of T2, T3, a couple of T1, and a T4 unit here for Bourne. Going to charge through. Those 3 players on that front side have been, or the middle side have been taken out. It's just NM on that western side, and it's just the air players. It's a 4v3. Man, this game, really flipped on not flipped the script. I forget what the phrase is. Flipped on a dime. I don't know what the term is. Anyway, Otten submissive building. He has the telemaser. Will he teleport somewhere? Maybe he's building it just in case while he has the eco to do it. We haven't talked about eco in a minute. It's been a hot minute, but Team 2 in the lead at 1.6k mass per second. Team 1 at 1.5. But we have another nuke launch. Where is this one going? Maybe... Oh, it's... no, I didn't see the move for that. Maybe it's going here? We'll have to check out. Oh, it's going to the west for the Navy. Honestly, I don't think that was worth it. The Navy's already lost. There's really no point. Maybe you'll take out this Tempest, but I don't think it's worth it. Team 1 launches another nuke. Where is this one going? It's going for this position. There's really nothing here. There's a headquarters. Another nuke launches. Dang, how many nukes does this game have? Launch at the same time. But we have another nuke launch. This one is going for this land army, but Rye Guys get killed by Hot and Submissive, by his Air Force once again. Actually, no, by his comm. He teleports in, kills the comm of Rye Guys, dropping this game to a 3v3, and everything else is destroyed. That nuke means nothing. This nuke does land, takes out some infrastructure, but nothing really worth anything. That nuke will land. It was a little too late, but we'll take out the back half of those forces, though. Just allowing Team 2's land army to get some sort of breather. But there's a lot of Harbingers in the mix. That Colossus is the big bad guy here. That's their main target. We have Rascoms fleeing at the sight of it. Team 2's player of TRU Putin tried to expand to that main landmass, but was told, no, you're not allowed to. We have some Team 1 bombers on approach. Harbingers starting to be eliminated here. And a lot of that support for that Colossus is going down, and its hit points are as well. He does have 60,000 more on that chassis, though. We have a chicken on its approach. We even have an Awasher comes over the top just at a clutch moment, takes out essentially everything else but the Colossus. Now it's sub 50,000. Team 1 now knows about it, but it will do a lot to defend this main landmass here for Team 2. And now another bomb cuts off that other column. There goes the dead Colossus, falling down to the ground on top, or close to a UEF quantum gateway. Yeah, it's gotta hurt. It did get a lot of work done, to be fair, but lasting damage, I don't really know. It's targeting the T3 Harbingers, just skyrimming it at this point, just almost 40, 50, maybe even 60 degree inclines. Another nuke from Team 1. Where does this one go? Those look like a Billy Nuke did launch and take out some of those mass extractors on that divorce islands, as I call them. Where is this one going? It's going over the main base here for Team 2's player of NM, but he does have an SMD and it is loaded. Billy Nuke's launching all the time. It will deflect that nuke. Not deflected, but eliminate it. Another nuke, but this one will land if it targets it again. Oh, no. NM doesn't have enough SMD. Team 1's player Bourne just pumping out nukes as we speak. That's his main strategy right now, is pumping out nukes. And he has them decentralized. allowing him to protect one if the other one does die in a strat bomb or rush or whatever the case may be. But now we have some artillery from these galaxies, and of course the Tempest will be in range here pretty soon, targeting something, or at least not something, but some infrastructure on this northern side. Takes out a couple of TMD. There is a satellite built here. That'd be a nice target for for Team 2 to take out. That nuke will launch, take out all of that infrastructure, that nuke, the anti-nuke, everything is gone. NM is regulated just to this position, but Billy Nuke's raining in all the time. He's building up a lot of these T3 battleships, the Hathums. Almost has one nuke loaded in one of them. Lots of Billy Nukes, lots of nukes, lots of semi-nukes from the Awash. They're more like Billy Nukes, I feel like. They do a lot more damage. That column of forces is coming up the middle. Here it comes, takes out another section of Harbingers. There's some AA, but not T3. You really need T3 to take out those Awashes. The bomb will come over the top. Will they have a bomb occur? Or maybe it's going after the commander here in the water. Tolsty isn't moving. No, the bomb doesn't release. There's a lot of AA in the area. Oh, the bomb does launch, though, on that front line. Takes out a mass extractor. That's it. One bomb. We have a fat boy down the middle to the west here. 14-1's player of Tolsty. He has a lot of infrastructure here in this northwestern section. The satellite is gone. He has another one to the south a little bit of that position, but that satellite, I think, is in range of that Tempest. It is barely out of range. He could possibly move it here and it would be in range, but it's targeting, I think, this quantum gateway. The air grid's going to start going up in smoke. They are struggling, though, because they're shooting uphill. They're like, hey, guys, we need a wider angle of attack. I have the high ground, says Team 1. They just can't shoot up that. Look at that. A lot of their shots are missing. Just can't hit their targets. Some of them can, but a lot of them can't. This will help Team 1 take out this forest, and a nuke will launch and take out a huge section of it. They'll be very grateful for that. A second nuke will target the Tempest directly. It does have 5 ranks of veterancy and has 148,000 mass killed. Probably partially due to that Novax. There goes the first nuke in the middle of that group. Kaboom, takes essentially everything out. Here comes the second nuke. I don't think it can kill the Tempest outright. No, almost does, though. 70,000 damage, though. That's a lot of damage for a nuke. But there's still more units coming in all the time, all the way around the map. Team 1 hasn't even expanded over here to the northeast yet. That's a huge missed opportunity for them. That's a lot of mass that they could just claim for themselves. I'm surprised Team 2 hasn't done that either. And there's no contesting on that northeastern side. We do have a Fat Boy coming into the Divorce Island to the west of that Fat Boy. That position will die very quickly. Without the central force here for Team 2, we have a lot of Percy's just going to walk into the main base. What remains of the main base.
Strategic launch detected.
Nukes are launching all the time. Another one launches for this one. This one almost has another one loaded. Where is this one going? SMDs are very important in this game. If you don't have one by now, oof. You could try to nuke this position, though. Do they even know that there's 2 comms here? No, they don't. Oh, it's such a... wonder where this... Oh, it's going to go for this position, maybe. Looks like a viable target. We'll have to see a chicken trying to push its way down that center causeway to the east.
Strategic launch detected.
But there's not a lot of effort here from Team 1 to take this out. They're building a lot of these Janus and these Storks. The nuke does launch, will land, and take out this center valley. There will be reinforcements coming in to re-secure that, but there's another nuke launching over that little pond area. Man, there's a lot of nukes. They see the comm. No, is it going for all these cormorants? Oh, it's going after maybe this. There's a satellite overhead. Maybe it's targeting the naval facility, and it's almost gone. Will that Galaxy class finish? No, it will not. It does look like the nuke was shot down, unfortunately, here for Team 1. Will that Galaxy class finish? It will, and then this facility will be taken out. There's not a lot of support on it. There it goes. This position isn't even shielding. It's a huge missed opportunity. But now we have a Paragon.
Strategic launch detected.
Does Team 1 know about it? No, they don't. But all they see is a couple groups of... I guess there are shields. I didn't notice that. Maybe the power was out for a second. Strat Defense says Chef Eat. We have a lot of ASFs protecting this one radar installation, which is very weird. Maybe that's the patrol route. All these engineers are going to die. They're trying to flee from the chicken, but nothing can escape that wrath of that chicken. Again, that Tempest, who had only essentially 5,000 hit points, is back up to 21,000. Still, shields being spammed up as fast as they can, trying to halt that naval bombardment to the north. They have artillery emplacements now, trying to take out whatever's left in the water. There's a Galaxy back here. Another destroyer, a couple shields. Bug says Team 2. And yes, Team 2 does notice the bug. It's just sitting in this position. It will be spotted, but there's not a lot of AA here. There's actually... Actually, there is a decent amount. Most of it is AA. These Redeemers. I think that's where this bug is headed. I mean... I don't think all these Redeemers will take them out, but it will do a significant damage. Love this sneakiness, says Once Handsome. Though this chicken just like walking by itself. We have a couple of Percy's trying to chase it, so Team 1 knows about it. But it's just funny watching that chicken just walk by itself. ASF don't even try to cover the bug. It's targeting the AA like it should be doing. Once it's finished with that, all these Harbingers are dead. But the bug already in the yellow, sub at 50,000 hit points. But most of those Redeemers are now gone. Targeting that bug, says Team 1, or at least that's what the pings are for. Take this base, says TRU Putin. And he's right, that base should have been taken a while ago. The chicken is pushing that eastern side, but run into a Colossus. You don't, at this point, you don't turn around. There's really no way to escape it. You're just gonna kill it, essentially, if you walk away. Team 2 brought a whole bunch of Janus, took out that Tempest, and now they're going after the Galaxy class. That's a lot of Janus here. Team 1 has to worry about this ASF force. They've actually claimed Team 1's position of Rygais, trying to build some sort of backup facility in the corner of Team 1's side of the map. You can look at all the pink. Like, 3 corners out of the 4 corners are owned by pink players. Another nuke going over the top here for Team 1. Will this one connect? Will that SMD will not shoot it down because it was just built a couple minutes ago. This one has 4. This one has 1. So there's 5 anti-nukes. How's that Paragon looking? Well, it's about halfway done, about ready to cross the 250 hit point, 2,500 hit points mark. The comm of Chef Eat just kind of walking around the map here. I'm over here in this base, but moved. Did that chicken ever die? The chicken did die. The Colossus walking away from it. See, and that's the thing is, at this point, you might as well just rushed it at the Colossus. Maybe you would have killed some mass. Yeah, it's a little bit further to the east, and they have to walk to get some engineers, but I don't know. I don't know if that was really worth it. That bug is now going to be a threat here for Team 1 unless they get an Air Force to deal with it. There's a lot of Janus here. That might be enough to take the bug out. But there is a huge number of ASFs here for Hot and Submissive. 264. They'll eviscerate those Janus if they get nearby. And Team 2 still has the Air Force here from TRU Putin. Is he building anything to end the game? No, the satellite's still attacking his air grid. No, not really. Team 2's player of Hot and Submissive is starting to land some RAS comms to start scooping up the mass. We see some engineers finally making it over here. What a cool map when played with a good fight, says Once Handsome. I definitely agree with that comment. Oh, man. This is nukes launching constantly. Jeez. Another nuke. It looks like nukes are just going to consistently go after Putin. I feel like he's the main threat for Team 1. Billy Nuke lands, taking out some engineers. Not really worth the mass to kill, but it does look like this position's going to fall with just a bunch of... What are they building? Just some bricks? I mean, you could have landed it here and taken a whole lot of Air Force, so... probably not the best place, but he didn't know where the Air Force was at the time. That whole island is gone, bar one mass storage that survived on 113 and one land factory. It is upgrading to T2 as we speak. Probably get some engineers to build some T2 extractors on it, but this is now, it's kind of quieted down. We had a quiet period in the beginning, and then a couple players died, quiet period, and then a lot of players died by various ways. And we have another quiet period, and we should see kind of a nice skyrocketing of more action here pretty soon. Again, Team 2 owning the whole western side of the map with some additional Hothum T3 battleships producing nukes. Looks like this one has just finished his first one. This one's halfway. That nuke does launch, and yes, it does come out of... Oh, I think it comes out of that side position. You see the little panel opening up. Oh, no, that panel is already open. That's where it launches its nuke. And it's coming in from the back. Will it be able to land because of that SMD? Yes, it will not be able to. But now Team 1 knows about that as well. We have a lot of gunships here, but there's a lot of AA as well from these command class and cruisers, these Salems. Not Salems, sorry, these Sirens. They're targeting the AA, which is good. They're taking out the command classes. It's a lot of firepower. They are broadswords. They're designed to take out, well, ground targets, but in this case, naval targets. Anything that's like below them, essentially. Nuke to the west. I don't know if that's really worth it. Like, maybe you'll get some RAS comms, but I don't know if it's really worth it just for one nuke. And that nuke isn't really going to land in a good position, honestly. If it was closer to the east, it would have been a huge grab, but not really. All of those AA are gone. There's still a lot of gunships. Team 2's air needs to get here and fast. Well, that's a huge missed opportunity. They could have gone after these battleships, but they just didn't. They're going after these ones to the east. Probably a distraction to get these nuke-based battleships out of there. At least maybe that's my opinion, at least. Team 2 has established a forward operating base in the remnants of, let's see, who is that? AYFKRN. The northeast now. Pink owns all four corners of the map. They're just going to encircle Team 1, essentially. It's pink versus the world, except for some blue mixed in there as well for NM. But it's just nukes here for Team 1. Nuke. Satellite. Nuke. So 3 nukes. That's really it. They're not going for game enders. I feel like with all of this time, all of this, shields that have been built up, you would think they'd just put one like right here. But they're not going for it. Even if it was just like a Maver, that'd be great. But they're that's missing an opportunity. It is finished. Team 2 has access to infinite resources via the Paragon. That is going to be huge for Team 2. Yeah, they'll be able to pump out nukes, but if they don't keep targeting that Paragon, it's not going to work out. Going to go for this position. This one doesn't have any nukes. Or anti-nukes, apologies. I don't think these engineers can load it fast enough. That base is going to go up in smoke, but they need to launch that nuke. It's going to die. You need to launch that nuke. It is inbound. Please get it out of the ground. Do they know it's incoming? No, they don't. They will in a second, but we have some strat bombers moving out. Yep, there's the nuke. Okay, see it. You got to launch it. You got to launch your nuke. It's so disappointing to see a nuke not launched. Oh, there it goes. Kaboom. But the nuke wasn't even taken out. Oh, that's a missed opportunity here for Team 1. Could have taken out their nuke launcher. What are you doing? Ah, that's such a disappointment. Salvation says NM. I mean, yeah, that's probably a good idea for this Paragon to build some Salvations. Building another Awasha bomber, building some more strategic missile defense. They have that bug still roaming the map down here. There's a lot more AA still coming at it, so Team 1 needs to keep pumping out AA, keep pumping out stuff. Bombs sniping inbound, says Born. They've noticed the snipe. The Air Force is positioned to assist it. They built an experimental. Is it a Salvation? No? Question mark? I don't know. I don't see anything underneath the shield. Oh, it's another bug. Maybe? Possibly. Waiting for that strop bomber to come in. We even have a Rascom in the water scooping up mass. Scooping up mass. That's a good move, actually. Oh, is it? If it's gonna, oh, that's not a good idea. Not really worth the mass to build that naval facility in the middle of a large force to the east and to the west. They're building. Oh, they're building Tempest.
Strategic launch
But
detected.
nukes at the same time
Strategic
launching
launch
another nuke launching for Team 1. It is nukes galore here. They're building more and more as we speak, building more and more shielding, but don't know if that's going to save you. Strap bombers are away. They're going after the nukes. That's a lot of AA they're running into, though. They're going after the comm, maybe? Nope. They're going after... Oh, they are going after the comm. They barely don't get him. 2,000 hit points left on that comm. Oh, that's got to hurt. Oh, they could have taken out both the nukes. Oh, that was so close, but they flew over a lot of AA. That Air Force is severely diminished, and it's just fleeing. Needs to turn around and fight. It will engage those Air Forces from Tolsty. Hopefully I'm saying his name right, but there's an Awasha bomber inbound. Where is it? I heard it. Oh, there it is. It's killing off a bunch of flak.
Strategic
The
launch
ASF have a new target. They're going after the bomber, maybe? They at least fly next to it. That's very dangerous to fly. Something like that. Yep, they're going to start chasing it now. Well, that Awasha is going to get killed off. Nuke's going after some
strategic launch
flak. Not
detected.
really worth it. Takes out a facility as well. Another nuke launches. Hot and Submissive is defeated by Tolsty. It looks like Tolsty tried to teleport. Not Tolsty. Hot and Submissive tried to teleport in. Does not kill anything. The comm is at 500 hit points. Ooh, that was close. Bro, 200, 300 hit points. That sucks. His whole corner is gone. I mean, most of it was gone at that point, but he still had a nuke. Didn't launch it. At least I didn't see him launch it. Oh, Bourne survives by the skin of his teeth. Skin of his teeth? I think that's how the phrase goes. Anyway,
Strategic
trying to
launch
support the
detected.
nukes the best they can. Another nuke launches here from Team 1 from the Stone Ager. Where is this one going? It's going after this position. These Hathums building more and more nukes as we speak, but of course we have that Paragon build a lot. Why are you building Colossus on a plateau that you, maybe for protection, maybe? That's an interesting form of PD. Why is there a lag all of a sudden, says Born? I have no idea. I have no lag. That Paragon not really pumping out as much as you think. We have Putin not really using it to its full extent, I feel like. And even that northeast position's gone. So now the four corners are not controlled by pink players. Stop the lag, really, says Bourne. I mean, this game isn't super old. A lot of the game improvements have been implemented already at this point.
Strategic
Putin's... Oh,
launch
really?
detected.
Putin says... Bourne, he's blaming Putin. Putin, why don't you build some Salvation? Says... And yeah, like, why don't you build some Salvations? You've had that Paragon for a little bit. You're just pumping out naval vessels, which, you know, could be a good idea, but you have a Paragon. You pump everything out when you have a Paragon. Shield being built. Yeah, Bourne's like, I need a shield. Build the advanced shield. You only have 2,000 hit points. You need some more protection on that comm. Nukes are not going to go after that Paragon. They won't be able to crack the amount of SMD that he has. That's constantly loading and more all the time. He has a ton of PD, so no comm will be able to teleport in. And even if one did, they don't have the telemaser like the Cyberns do. The one disadvantage, I feel like maybe if the player of Chef Eat had the Cybern faction, he would have gone for teleportation. But he is building a Duke, but it's going to take a while to build. With the assistance, of course, of Tolsty. Putin, says Bourne. Wait, what? He's trying to desync us, says Bourne. We didn't lag all game, and now he's the only one. He's building a bunch of experimentals all over the map. Fix your connection. I mean, sometimes you can do something about that. Sometimes you can't. I don't know if Putin is trolling or not, but, I mean, he has a Paragon, and he's not really using it. At least for what most people would use it for. You're behind. It is you and high ping. AXU. Oh, commander. Interesting that you didn't lag all game, but now, question mark, or dot, dot, dot. I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe just somebody's on their Wi-Fi and stealing all the Wi-Fi or something. I don't know.
Strategic launch
But
detected.
another nuke launches, this time from Team 2. It is from the Hathums. There's still the 4 originals are still alive. Well, a campaign like this is NM. Let's surrender. No, don't surrender. You exactly. I will win it easy. There's just conversations, but it's horrible. The game isn't moving. Well, again, it's the whole you have a Paragon. You could build Salvations and annihilate those shields and kill everything. But he's not doing it. And I don't know why. That's usually the strat with Paragons is build a bunch of artillery and just fire it at the opponent and win. It's essentially what most of that strategy boils down to, but a huge wave of broadswords just annihilate everything hovering in that water. We have a bunch of these T1 attack boats. They have have a decent AA on them. Not great, but a lot of, 1,000 of anything will kill anything, essentially. Handsome and NMS, not me. So Putin trying to blame. I can leave, says NM. Don't leave. Or Handsome can leave. Neither of you leave. Where is No. Oh, Handsome's still in the game, technically. He's just dead. I'll leave if you think it's me, but I don't think it's me. I can see you are R, behind man, Putin. So Born claiming Putin, but now we have 6 bugs on approach. That's how he wants to win the game. Nuke launches, takes out nothing. Now there's 5 Hathums. Or, Hathums. He stopped building those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Awashes. He wants to build it with just ramming experimentals down his opponent's throat. Here comes the bugs. The AH struggling to keep up with the amount of firepower. Here comes some SAMs. Here comes some ASS. Wow, I cannot say that word. They have to divert their target. One of them dies. Oh, that's a lot of SAMs. You just ran into the hornet's nest there. Not going to work out. Where are those... that game... Oh, I felt like my game lagged there for a second, but maybe not. We have experimentals crossing the battlefield everywhere. Monkey Lords. We have Megaliths, Colossus. Where did those Awashes go? They go over the top already? No, there's Tempest over there. There's Soul Rippers over there. Those all died. Oh, there's so much AA, and that's the downside with a lot of those experimental AAs. A lot of SAMs can take them out very quickly. 6 of them died pretty easily. Here comes another one. Look at that. Look at the damage. Just one burst, another burst. I think is gone. It's DOA. Dead on arrival. Pushing up with a Mega and a Colossus. We have another chicken pushing through that front line. Where did those Awashes go? They already die? There's no way they already died. Oh, there's one over here. Oh. Oh. I guess some of them are currently building, so maybe not those ones. So not 3. He has 13 active Awashes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh. He's going to kill the game with a bunch of experimentals is essentially what he's doing. He doesn't want to build artillery. He wants to just spam out Awash. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of firepower. He could nuke that entire middle just with everything. We have those monkey lords pushing on the eastern side. The broadsword's having a difficult time chewing through all those hit points. And nukes, or Billy Nukes, landing all the time. Trying to take out some SAM sites. We have a Novax just hiding in the middle of that wrecked Awasha. First monkey is down. It's starting to open up. It's laser. Gonna target some mexes. We have a bunch of Storks trying to go after these Tempest, but Team 1 still hasn't built any sort of game ender. I don't know what they're doing. Another nuke launches from those Hathums. Another one, and this one will almost launch. 2 more will come in. They're targeting this position. There's a lot of SMD, but it will be able to shave off 2 of those nukes, not a third one. Where are those Awasher? Are they inbound? No, they're still not. They're still hovering over here. No, they're not. Where'd they go? Oh, they're hovering over here. What is going on? I'm so annoyed. I knew Putin would ruin this game. Yeah, this lag is super annoying. I feel bad for everyone in the game just because it is lagging.
Strategic launch detected.
But it looks like there is an artillery online, but those shields are not going to crack anytime soon just with 1 artillery. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Yep, Team 1 needs a lot more artillery to crack that Paragon. Do they even know about the Paragon? Oh, they know about it. They for sure know about it, but it's not going to take anything out anytime soon. And they're being assisted all the time. At least this shield is. Nuke goes off. Looks like that was an
Strategic
yep.
launch
The
detected.
first Hathum-based nuke goes off and lands with the pretty Seraphim bomb. Nuke will land in this position, taking out that experimental production area, building all sorts of things. These bugs will have to move. What are those Awashes? They're back. Oh, you have so many.
Strategic
Just send them in.
launch detected.
I'm just like, send them in. You have the forces to
Strategic
kill
launch detected.
everything in this position. 2 more nukes are gonna be thrown somewhere, but this position will not crack, so it's not really worth going after that. Take out some of these other positions and facilities. The Calm of Putin is hiding in the water with a couple of AA nearby, the Cybern and the Aeon variety, and building more bugs, building so many bugs. I don't know what to do, says Born. Well, build a game ender, and you won't do that. I mean, you would think that, like, oh, he's building a Paragon. I should build a Paragon. Hasn't done that yet. I'm done with this little lag. Is too much. There is a Awasher being killed over the top there. Going to land next to his bug buddy. Wait, says TRU Putin. Shooties says chef eat. I don't know what shooties means. No one's going to teleport in, I feel like. I mean, that horde of gunships just annihilating everything now. Those cannot traverse the map. They need to fly over. There's more and more coming in all the time. There's 2 Colossus to the west with a monkey. Another nuke will be sent off. Man, there's so many nukes this game. Whether that be Billy Nuke variety, battleship variety, or, you know, regular structure-based variety. It's going to go for the Divorce Islands, I guess. Yeah, that's what it looks like. There is an SMD here. It does have 2 motive. That nuke will be taken out. Oh, there's a chicken in that mix. Sorry, not a Colossus. That one's taken out. The chicken goes off. Dinosaur will be activated pretty quick. There goes that Colossus. Team 1 is just holding out. It's like a survival game at this point. Like, how long can they... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you are not building a Salvation to finish this already? Yeah. Why are you not? Like... Because he wants to kill it with 20 Awash. That's so many. That's so many.
Strategic launch detected.
That's so many. I'm just going to watch this pink blob on the eastern side just move.
Strategic launch detected.
Nukes are being launched constantly from these battleships. Trying to poke. This position is falling. There goes an explosion. Looks like it was a calm death. Chef Eat just ran into an experimental at this point. ASF coming to distract, I guess. Where are those experiments? Okay, send them in. Just send them in. Oh, here they come. I'm going to no icon view and just going to, like, turn the map. You can see all the SAMs and AAA going off. We have a Colossus moving up the middle. Here they come. Maybe. They're bombing everything that they can. Is the order being sent? The order has been given. Here they come. You can see that main base here for Team 1. Here comes the first one. Bombs are away. Targeting the Colossus, targeting the nukes, targeting everything. We have bugs coming in. The first one dies. More bombs coming in all the time. Impacting the ground, impacting shields. We have more bugs coming in. That air grid gets annihilated. Look at this nonsense. Look at the nonsense. They're just carpet bombing. It's like the screenshot, not the screenshot, like the cutscene from the beginning of the, oh, will it impact one of them? Oh, please impact one of them. It impacts the bugs. I wish you would stop joining scrub games. Play up to your skill. I mean, sometimes it's nice to, like, have fun, but not crazy. But that nuke impacted the bugs. That is crazy. Look at the nonsense. This all I can describe it as nonsense. Like, this is just, it's like beating your opponent, and they're just going to control K over top of Born and kill him outright. There he goes. Born has been defeated by Control King, Awashers, and it does look like either, I think Tolsky just exited out or Control K'd at the last moment. But that was a very interesting game. Lots of crazy stuff happened. I hope everybody who watched the video watched it to the end. I greatly appreciate it. Please like, And comment down below what your favorite moment of the video was. Let me know how you feel. Do you think Putin should have just ended it with salvations? I feel like he should have. It would have. The game would have been shorter. It would have been drawn out. I mean, it's cool to see, you know, like 20 plus eye washers on screen, but there's one thing, you know, like building a bunch and sending them in. Another thing is like purposely not like trying to win the game as quickly as possible, draw it out. I don't feel like drawing it out's really worth it. I mean, players, you know, it's like in the game, it's taking longer to play. Like, it's not the best situation to be in. I understand the frustration of Team One. I get it. In terms of underrated players of the game, I feel like I don't want to give it to Putin just because he built, you know, 20 plus Awashes and a whole bunch of everything else. I feel like the underrated player of the game probably was Born. I feel like he built that early nuke, built a second nuke, did a lot of devastation to Team 2, took out a couple of players, held out for a very long time, essentially to the end. But I think I'm going to have to give it to him. Even though his team lost, I feel like he did a lot of work for his team. Let me know how you feel about that. Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you have a different opinion? Let me know down in the comments. And of course, if you haven't hit that sub button and if you've been enjoying the videos, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.